Hey humans, Coach Nate here with another mindful focus for you. In this post, it reads, trying to understand the behavior of some people is like trying to smell the color 9. Now, I don't know about you if you're familiar with what the smell of the colors are, but I that just defies logic. It it could mean one thing to one person and something to another, and trying to put all the pieces together and figure it all out. Yeah, that's a no. Um, know that human behavior has many influences. The influences why people do what it is that they do, why they behave, can be influenced by trauma, their environment, growing up, the family constellation, what happened during their childhood, any trauma that they experienced, little T's or big T's, or even just culture of beliefs that may not be incongruence compatible with other cultural beliefs. Um, the genetics, temperament, ego, all of these shape an individual's worldview and helped create, determine what they feel in their minds, collectively, individually, is the right thing and the wrong thing, what works for them, what doesn't work, perhaps even by example set for them. Know that even under the most ideal childhood conditions, where there wasn't major trauma, may not have even been any, still much it can go wrong. And even if, as the temperament is being formed, they say that temperament is set in stone somewhere between 5 and 8 years old, who that individual is. And it's influenced by their environment, but partly they come into it with genetics. If everything goes relatively smoothly up until that point, then there's this thing called exposure to a world outside of the home, outside of perhaps the safety, security, and even, you know, sheltered or coddled home environment that has those protections. And that exposure can have a deep negative impact, can basically ruin even the best upbringing. This is not a friendly world in which we live in, unfortunately, where people have all of their drives and desires, motivations, and it almost seems like there are those that are constantly on the prowl to see what they can do to disrupt and destroy peace. Even that goes back to why are they of that mindset. Those behaviors can really, I mean, apart from personality or psychological disorders, the reasons for those types of behaviors can be meanness, insecurity, lack of character or values, being wrapped up in, wanting to get even for past wrongs, things that those individuals endured, and has now created a desire to behave in this manner of perceived wrongs or even actual wrongs. The bottom line is all of those are losing propositions, both for the individual exhibiting the behavior and those that it is inflicted upon. You could literally spend a lifetime trying to figure that out for each and every individual. All of us have, in all truth, experienced some degree of trauma. Not all of it is intentional. It just occurs. It's called the life experience. And if you haven't, just hold on. Eventually, you will. And when I say that, some of that trauma, most of that trauma, is a derivative of the behavior of others, things that have occurred that have impacted us in a way as to leave a mark or a scar or a permanent impact on us. So knowing that in terms of the how of the let go, live now, when, it's better to know what an individual, the people in your lives that you have relationships with or have to interact with or have to interact with, it's better to know what they're capable of, than the why. As someone in the helping profession, our job is to try to understand the why so we can dig in and try to help and work with that individual to modify that behavior if that's something they want to do. But for you as an individual and managing through this life, knowing what they are capable of is crucially important. Now, transparency, authenticity, and vulnerability are pathways to the why, but it is rare that will occur in outside of a therapeutic setting, outside of when somebody is seeking to change and willing to do those things in order to grow. Unfortunately, our current society views, and probably has for as long as I can recall, transparency and authenticity as vulnerability. You're letting others know where your weaknesses are. It's unfortunate because if we were all able to communicate and communicate on a level of authenticity, we may not have some of the ills, but here we are. It is important to protect yourself, crucial to protect yourself, your well-being, and your mental health as a top priority in this environment. There's so much that we don't control. What we can is making sure that we have the right safety boundaries in place to be able to manage through those behaviors that we will encounter and proximity based on how they impact us to those behaviors. There's certain people we can be in the room with and it's okay. Others we don't want to be in the same state with, and others, the negative impact it can have on us, we could probably live continents away and that might be okay. Those are boundaries of protection for you, your well-being, to not have yourself continually be negatively impacted by others' behavior, for whatever reason they're doing it. We can't control that, but we can control our environments. I liken it to like cautious driving or even defensive driving. It's always being aware of your surroundings and anticipate that the defensive driving, the other driver is going to do something unexpected and that could cause you harm. Now, that's not defensiveness and you defending your behaviors. That is you protecting yourself in a defensive way against their behaviors. Know that there's potential behaviors. Trying to anticipate. There is no surefire, absolute 100% guarantee we're going to be able to protect ourselves. But if at least make that a priority, keep that top of mind, make that a focus, we can minimize the risk, the impact, and the pain that takes quite a bit of time to recover from the wounds that can be created by that. Just sharing some insights with you. Feel free to try it or toss it. Both of those can be correct answers for you, but only you can determine which of those is the correct answer for you. If this resonates with you, feel free to give a like and subscribe and then hit that notification button so you know when I post additional content like this. And also feel free to share it with someone that you feel may benefit from this in order to help them as they progress through life's journey. And as always, remember to let go, live now, and win.